Okay, so we are now on to gym number 21, and this was Elevation Fitness in Colorado Springs. Gym was very much sort of a general strength training, bodybuilding focused gym. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to get any strongman work done. So what I did was plan to do more of a posterior chain accessory or supplement type day. Now, the first movement was pendlay rows. I went relatively heavy for me, but it was more just getting some like sort of speed off the floor and getting warmed up for some deadlifts afterwards. But I'm just going to cut straight through the gym first of all and show you what it's all about. So yeah, big row of dumbbells, lots of plate loaded sort of hammer strength style machines, which tend to have quite a lot of over here. Towards the back there's a load of really old school Nautilus stuff, which is quite fun. And then just here you can see a number of different power racks, squat cages, squat stands, and then a few platforms and things like that. So yeah, pendlay rows. So this was 275 pounds, so 125 kilos, and I did 6x6. Not too tough, but I just wanted to get sort of my lower body warmed up slightly and a little bit of work in my upper back. Pendlay rows, people have different opinions on how to do them, with legs, without legs. I know I'm ducking into it a little bit there, but this is how I naturally sort of tend to do them, and it works for me and I quite enjoy it. Not a huge weight, but it definitely was pulling at my finger. I'm having to use straps on the deadlift, and I probably should have done here. I've got a tear in my finger that every time it heals it just pops back open every single time. This happened like 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, just before Worlds, but there we are. Just got to moan at you guys about it. So speed deadlifts. So this is 165 or 166 kilos. I think the weight's 365 pounds. So yeah, you guys can do the math. 8x2, 1 minute rest. Typical thing you've seen in a lot of my videos. I'm showing you 3 of my sets here. Quite happy with the bar speed. I would have normally gone lighter if I'd have been able to use 2 bands, but there we go. First sort of accessory movement, get the lats working, plate loaded pull downs. I've gone so much heavier on machines like this before, but as you've seen from a lot of my videos, a lot of my accessory work is pretty light. I'm just focusing on the contraction, the squeeze, keeping tension on the muscle. There's no need to kill myself. Now the sort of lower body posterior chain accessory number 1 was remaining deadlifts. You won't see there I'm stood on some sort of little box thing just so I can get the bar quite low without it touching the ground. Trying to keep the tension completely on my hams and glutes throughout the motion by not really locking out. Next up, I keep going on how much I love these sort of chest supported row machines. So yeah, I had to do some more of that. Once again, moderate weight, just focusing on controlling the movement and getting that sort of pump going on in the back. Yeah, and then now the sort of lower body posterior chain accessory, GHRs. Someone tell me if I'm doing these wrong. Sometimes they feel like they're working, sometimes they don't. Now they did on this day. I've not really done this movement in my training like routinely ever. So I'm trying to fit it in. If I'm being honest, if I had to choose between GHR or reverse hyper, I would go with reverse hyper. But I know there's slightly different movements and slightly different muscle groups worked primarily, but yeah, just thinking out loud whilst I'm speaking to a camera. Next up was face pulls. Now I know a lot of people do these slightly differently. I like to sort of bring my hands higher towards sort of eye or ear height at the end, and I imagine that my scapula are pulling back and rotating downwards to keep my shoulders in line. I've historically had desk-based jobs for the last like 10 years, and obviously on this road trip I'm driving a lot, so the time that I'm sat down is quite a lot, and I get rounded shoulders quite easily, so I like to put stuff like this in either on a machine or with some bands, whatever's available. Now I found this old Nautilus back extension, which actually was incredible. It was such a pump, load of blood in the lower back, a real like intense burn in the lower sort of erectors. I enjoyed it. It was just a nice little finisher, and I was supersetting this with hamstring curls, I'm going to show you in a second. But honestly, it looks like some sort of bullshit exercise, but it was actually really good, really fun, and felt quite cool at the end of a workout, just to pump blood in an area that your lower back always needs strengthening. So ham curls, I'm a bit upset. The cuts from the last video in my hams aren't quite as visible today. Either the lighting's bad or I'm getting a bit chubby. I'm going to blame it on the lighting, but I am starting to increase the calories right now, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, that was it. That was the workout. All posterior chain from sort of head to toe, posterior chain accessory work. And yeah, I mean, nothing too exciting there, I'm afraid. So no real strongman stuff, but everything sort of hopefully gearing towards building up my strength to start improving my deadlift once my back is 100% better. It's nearly there, but yeah, I know I need to be patient with it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. The next gym is, I believe, Iron Warrior, just on the edge of Denver. That's going to be a bit heavier. I'm going to try and throw some strongman moving events in there. I am going to go a little heavier on a deadlift and maybe log, but we'll see. I always tend to have a little weird, crazy idea when I turn up at a gym and see a piece of kit that is exciting. So, but that was Elevation Fitness, and thanks for watching. On to the next one. Cheers.